come to a conference like this and you suddenly see it in a totally different way. You realise there's so much more to the subject, way beyond what you normally get involved in.
I want to start by telling you a story that is far away from what feels like big data technology and the problems of the day. I want to start by telling you the story of paper. Printing, literature, literacy, schools, libraries, essentially the whole foundation of knowledge as we know it was built upon this technology. If you put it in today's terminology, right? Paper was the first technology that enabled peer-to-peer communication with high bandwidth.
For me, creativity marketing isn't just a case of thinking outside the box. It's about imagining new boxes and how solutions, potential solutions within these boxes can be used to solve the problems and issues that face us in the world of marketing today.
But once you start with data and you add a layer of intelligence to it, you've got to do something with it. Data on its own is worthless. You've actually got to turn it into real value for a business, for a customer. And I think there's a real challenge for us in the next decade to blend what is a user experience, data, all those sorts of things, to actually be creative about how do we deliver a store in the palm of someone's hand.
Well, some of the research we do through the Creativity Marketing Center, some of the academic research, is into really understanding what creativity is.
How many people in here would say they're creative? Raise your hand, please. Okay, keep your hands up, please. Of those, how many of you believe you're good storytellers? Okay, a few hands went down. And now, of those that are still up, how many of you have a passion for data? Okay, I think that that the best analysts really are creative storytellers. It is in part resources, but also in part it's not using enough imagination as to what you can do with it.
What could we do with the data that we have with Orange? And we define 3 big categories. The middle one is, instead of big data, with what we call small data. Small data is the data that you give back to your customer that he can exploit himself to improve what he does in his life.
I think it's a great initiative, also because it involves students and professional and academics, so that's a good mix. And it's also a very interesting topic, and I would like to be involved even when I leave the course. It's a very good thing to also keep in touch with people.
Big data is relative to where you are at the moment. Big data is the volume of data and the complexity of data that pushes you beyond your comfort zone. What about data politics? Wouldn't it be nice if politicians based policies on evidence rather than on doctrine? What would the world be like if we started thinking about more things we could do with our data?
Personally, I believe the trend is set for the next decade, which is we as marketeers are going to have to get more transparent with customers and educate customers as to how data gets used.
I think those organizations that really use this creativity get the largest value. So if you want to be a leader, you've got to have creativity. I don't see any other way around it.
The data can inform the business in a completely different way. And I think that there could come a stage where if agencies get very good at analytics, they could actually start to show businesses where potential new business models exist.
What to me is interesting in this business is to find the ways that no one had thought of before, right? To find the surprises.
Excellent speakers coming out with really new ways of thinking about big data and really taking creativity as the angle to better understand what big data can do for marketers.